if you're not a competitor, you're not going to last. And it doesn't have to be to win at all costs, right? It's just how you do what you do every single day. Like for me as a human being, like if you're leaving your shop.
In today's fast-paced world of elite basketball, the relationship between a coach and her players is much more than just about tactics and drills. It's about shielding the key players from external pressures while nurturing their growth on the court. Our discussion begins with the premise that sometimes the most important role a coach plays is to safeguard the mental and physical well-being of her star athlete, ensuring that the challenges of competitive play do not compromise their peace of mind. The essence of coaching, as seen through the eyes of our sport pulse, is to help a player not only survive the intense demands of professional basketball, but to thrive. This means designing strategies that protect a player's energy while still allowing them to shine. In our narrative, this is exemplified by a scenario where the coach's primary goal is to ensure that her key players' talents are not squandered on endless minutes.
You're not going to be on my team, right? Like, you're not going to be on my team. If I'm watching you and you're on the end of the bench with bad body language and not being a good teammate, like...
Or forced roles that might ultimately burn her out. By drawing on a philosophy that blends compassionate mentoring with competitive ambition, the coach creates an environment in which every minute on the floor contributes to the overall development of both the individual and the team. At a recent press conference, the head coach delivered a message that went far beyond conventional pep talks. It wasn't just about winning games. It was about building a culture, a mindset, and a sustainable approach to excellence. With an intensity that matched the heat of an Indiana summer, she laid out her vision. A vision where every player's well-being was paramount, and where the system's design was to maximize each athlete's unique contribution. In her remarks, the coach didn't mince words. She emphasized that while protecting her star's peace was critical, there was also an expectation that she continue to evolve on the court. The message was clear. The player must balance her personal growth with her role as the face of the franchise. For her, it was about elevating the team to become the best version of itself. The coach acknowledged that the spotlight often falls on her marquee player, but stressed that basketball is a team sport, a symphony of effort where every note matters. Her words resonated like a clarion call, demanding that the entire squad step up to support not only their star, but the collective mission. The coach was candid in explaining that this wasn't about any one individual's accolades, but about creating a winning formula that would endure over seasons. It was a blueprint for success that went far beyond the simplistic notion of win at all costs, and instead embraced a long-term vision of health, efficiency, and mutual respect among teammates.
We just got to help her try to navigate it in the best way that we can, and from a coaching perspective, keep the main thing. Like, look, we want to protect her, certainly, help her protect her peace, and then...
In any high-stakes environment, particularly in sports, controversy is inevitable. This particular season, our Sport Pulse witnessed a heated exchange that went beyond the routine press briefing. In a moment that left many fans and analysts talking, one coach's fiery commentary ignited a debate about player management and team dynamics. On one side of the argument stood a vocal critic, someone who had long been skeptical about the heavy reliance on a singular superstar to carry the team. Her perspective was blunt, almost brutally honest. If a player is doing everything single-handedly, then that imbalance could be detrimental in the long run.
She's shooting the hell out of the ball. And she's making sure she's finding those open players. She had some amazing assists tonight. Triple-double second.
With metaphors that ranged from comparing a player's overexertion to leaving a shopping cart abandoned in a parking lot, her criticism was both colorful and pointed. She argued that such behavior was not only unsustainable, but also counterproductive, ultimately damaging team morale. In contrast, the head coach's response was measured and insightful. Rather than dismissing the critique outright, she addressed it by highlighting the importance of efficiency. It wasn't enough for her star to merely dominate the scoreboard. She needed to be part of a well-oiled machine where every player knew their role. In her vision, success was a collaborative effort, an ensemble performance where each member contributed to the overarching strategy. Her comments suggested that a player's brilliance could only truly shine when supported by a robust, unified team effort.
One for a rookie, just really, really proud of her and her continue to keep her teammates involved, and then also just her growth.
The debate that unfolded provided a fascinating study in contrasting coaching methodologies. On one end of the spectrum was the approach of a coach who appeared to be content with an individual-centric style of play. Her advice to the star player was, in effect, To not be herself, a perplexing message that likened the natural flow of talent to a well-oiled process suddenly forced into an awkward routine. Critics argued that this approach was akin to asking a dolphin, a creature built for swimming, to simply walk on land. At the heart of the coach's philosophy is a meticulous game plan that emphasizes both individual brilliance and collective efficiency. Her remarks during the press conference laid out a clear blueprint. The team must be built around its star without becoming overly dependent on her. This balance is achieved through a series of calculated moves both on and off the court that collectively aim to elevate the team's overall performance. One of the key elements of this blueprint is an emphasis on passing and movement. Rather than allowing the offense to become stagnant or predictable, the coach insists on a dynamic system where every player is encouraged to find open teammates, exploit mismatches, and create scoring opportunities through intelligent ball movement.
Peace. Throws up a peace sign. Don't let the door hit you in the bleep. Yeah, that's one thing you could throw out there, Christy sides, or actually.
This strategy is designed to keep opponents guessing, forcing defenses to adapt and shift their focus rather than collapsing solely on the superstar. Furthermore, the coach's system places a premium on defensive discipline. Recognizing that the best defense is built on the foundation of a sound defense, she has made it clear that every player must contribute to stopping the opposition's best plays. This dual focus on offensive efficiency and defensive tenacity is what sets her approach apart. It's not just about getting high-scoring numbers, but about building a team that is resilient, adaptable, and capable of turning defense into offense in the blink of an eye. Her commitment to a holistic strategy is evident in every facet of her coaching. From adjusting rotations to fine-tuning individual matchups, she leaves nothing to chance. It's a system that acknowledges that success in basketball is rarely the product of one moment of brilliance, but rather the culmination of consistent, disciplined effort over time. The coach's detailed attention to every aspect of the game has not only raised expectations among her players, but also instilled a sense of purpose and unity that permeates the entire organization. Every once in a while, a coach comes along who doesn't just make adjustments, but fundamentally reshapes the way a team approaches the game. This season, with the emergence of a coach who is as passionate about strategy as she is about her players, the landscape of women's basketball is shifting. The head coach's vision extends far beyond the X's and O's of game planning. It's about creating an enduring legacy that will be remembered for years to come. One of the most talked about changes has been her recalibration of the role of the superstar. No longer is the player expected to be a one-woman army.
Stephanie White. I do find it interesting. It seems she's got, I guess, more interaction with Stephanie White than we might have known previously.
Instead, she is seen as the catalyst around which a larger, more diverse ensemble operates. In this new era, every player's contribution is valued, and the notion of carrying the team is replaced by the idea of supporting the team. This collective approach not only spreads the physical and mental load, but also paves the way for more innovative and unpredictable play. It's a shift that has not gone unnoticed by fans and pundits alike. Social media is abuzz with discussions about whether this renewed focus on team balance could be the turning point for a franchise that has historically struggled with inconsistency. Critics who once argued that a single, dominant personality was essential for success are now forced to reconsider their assumptions in light of the coach's forward-thinking strategy.
Season workout footage of Caitlin Clark probably noticed the same thing. She looked like she bulked up a little bit. She looked like she got a little bit stronger. And that was...
The change is not merely cosmetic. The coach's leadership has already begun to manifest in tangible improvements on the court. Observers have noted that the team now exhibits a new sense of unity and purpose, with players working seamlessly together in both offense and defense. It is a team that appears to be more resilient, more adaptable, and ultimately more dangerous than ever before. In this redefined era, every pass, every rotation, every minute on the floor is orchestrated with the singular goal of winning not just games, but championships. Another critical aspect of the coach's master plan is her approach to building the roster. Recognizing that a championship team is built on depth and versatility, she has made several key moves in the offseason that have the potential to redefine the team's identity. Gone are the days when a franchise relied solely on its superstar to carry the weight of the entire season. Today, success hinges on the collective contributions of a well-rounded and dynamic roster. One of the most significant moves has been the integration of experienced championship-caliber talent into the fold. Veteran players, known for their leadership, have been welcomed into the team with open arms. These players bring not only skill and experience, but also an invaluable championship mentality that is critical during the high-pressure moments of the season.